You don't get a birthday. You get an extraction. You're 6 years old, maybe 7 when they take you. One moment you're a kid on whatever forgotten backwater planet you had the misfortune of being born on, and the next you're in the back of a first-order transport ship surrounded by other confused children who are all doing the same thing you're doing right now, trying very hard not to cry. Don't. They're watching. Back on your home planet, a flash clone of you has already been installed in your bed. Your parents will never know the difference. Happy birthday, by the way. They give you a designation, not a name, a designation, a letter and a number, something like FN2187. You'll answer to it immediately or you'll run laps. You'll answer to it instinctively within a week. You will, over time, forget the name your parents gave you. This is by design. Welcome to the First Order, FN whatever, you big number. Your childhood, if you can call it that, takes place entirely aboard a Star Destroyer. Your classroom is a cold gray room with hard benches and a holographic display that cycles through tactical maneuvers, weapons maintenance, and the inspiring philosophical writings of someone called Supreme Leader Snoke. You will not be asked your opinion on any of it. You'll spend your mornings doing drills, your afternoons running combat simulations, and your evenings being told that the Resistance is evil and that the First Order is the only thing standing between the galaxy and total chaos. Sure, sounds right. You do make friends, though. Sort of. There's a kid in your unit, FN2003, but you call him Slip, who's terrible at everything and keeps almost getting both of you killed during simulations. You cover for him constantly. Cherish that. That little act of loyalty is probably the most human thing you'll do for the next decade. The First Order doesn't really encourage that kind of thing. Now that you're a teenager, the training gets serious. Hand-to-hand combat, weapons proficiency, crowd suppression. You'll be drilled until the movements become automatic, until your body just knows what to do before your brain catches up. The goal is to make you a tool, an efficient, obedient, replaceable tool. And honestly, you're getting pretty good at it. Your scores are solid, your reflexes are sharp, your commanding officer gives you an approving nod once. You think about that for 3 days. They hand you your armor for the first time in your mid-teens, and you have to admit, it looks incredible. Gleaming white plastoid plates, a sleek black bodysuit underneath, a helmet that makes your voice sound intimidating. You put it on and look in the mirror and think, okay, maybe this is fine. Maybe this is actually kind of cool. This is the last moment of genuine optimism you will experience as a Stormtrooper, so I hope you really savored it. Because here's the thing nobody tells you about the armor. It does almost nothing. It's not really armor in any meaningful sense of the word. A standard blaster bolt from a rebel weapon will punch right through it. It doesn't protect your head, it doesn't protect your torso, it doesn't protect your shins somehow. What it does do is make you look identical to every other Stormtrooper in the galaxy, which means your commanding officer will never have to learn your name. So there's that. Congratulations, you've somehow survived long enough to get deployed, your first real mission. You and your unit are loaded into a drop shuttle and sent down to the surface of a planet whose name you weren't given. Why would they tell you that? You're a tool. Tools don't need context. You hit the ground running, immediately taking fire from resistance fighters who are somehow everywhere. Your squad fans out. You fire back. Here's the thing they definitely should have told you during training. You're going to miss. Not some of the time, most of the time, an almost heroic amount of the time. It will feel physically impossible. You will have a clear shot at a target standing completely still 15 meters away, and somehow, the bolt will go wide. You'll do this hundreds of times and it will never make sense. Just accept it. It is your destiny. The years blur together in a cycle of briefings, deployments, and retreating through corridors with alarms blaring. You storm a rebel ship, you miss all your shots. You guard a hallway, someone in a Mandalorian helmet walks through you like you're furniture. You participate in a ground assault on a forest moon where the rebel forces have apparently recruited the local wildlife, which is somehow just bears. Teddy bears. The galaxy's greatest military force is being defeated by teddy bears. You don't talk about Endor. In your late 20s, you get promoted. Not to anything exciting, you're now a squad leader, which mostly means you're the one who has to write the after-action reports explaining why your entire unit missed every shot. But it's something. You get a slightly different pauldron on your shoulder, Slip, your old friend from training, somehow still alive, gives you a congratulatory punch on the arm that means more than any ceremony ever could. He was a good guy. Anyway, he dies the following week on a mission to a desert planet. Moving on. You've been in this long enough to know that the First Order is not, in fact, the galaxy's last line of defense against chaos. It is the chaos. You've seen villages. You've been ordered to do things you don't talk about in the barracks afterward. There's a quiet moment between deployments where you sit in the hangar bay watching a TIE fighter get prepped for launch, and you think, genuinely for the first time, about what it would mean to just walk away, to be a person instead of a number, to have a name again. You don't walk away. Where would you even go? You don't have a planet anymore. You have a designation. You have a unit. You have a blaster that statistically will not help you when it counts. You put your helmet back on. You're in your early 40s, ancient by Stormtrooper standards, when it finally happens. A resistance assault on the base. Alarms everywhere. You're at your post, which is a door. Your job is to guard this door. This is the door you will die at. You know it the second the corridor lights go red. You raise your weapon. A figure in a black and gray outfit rounds the corner, moving fast. You fire. You miss, obviously. 3 more shots. Miss. 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 The figure doesn't even slow down. They just sort of gesture and your blaster goes flying out of your hand, which isn't even a thing that should be possible. Bummer. He was a good guard, really. Very punctual. The base falls 40 minutes later, and nobody ever found out what his actual name was. What a way to go. Somewhere in the galaxy, a Flash clone of you is still living his best life on that forgotten backwater planet. He's probably got a family, probably laughs a lot, probably has excellent aim.